Hey everybody, it's me Zach, this is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me Zach, I'm back again today. I don't know, I was really on the verge of just not filming anything for today, if I'm gonna be honest with you, because I had played some Stardew for my gaming channel, and I was gonna go run at the gym, probably will still try to do that. Gonna stream on Twitch later tonight, and I have a friend coming over this evening to watch Big Brother and the Challenge USA, and so I was just like, you know what? If I don't get to filming a video for my main channel today, that's gonna be okay. And then Amberlynn just keeps talking about me on Instagram, which is fine. Let me be clear, like, for somebody who talks a lot of shit myself, like, it would be very hypocritical for me to be like, oh my god, I can't believe she's talking shit about me. That would be really goofy. And if anybody is the star of the Goofy movie here, it's Amberlynn, not me. So you won't catch me being goofy about that. It's fine. She can have whatever opinion she wants. But I am compelled to just point out how, like, none of it makes sense. Like, truly none of it. And the more people send me screenshots, the more I'm just like, wow, let me address some of this. And in fact, I say some of this because she may very well, like, say more stuff on Instagram by the time I even get done filming this, editing this, whoever, whatever. And so if this isn't even an all-encompassing video of all of the things that she has said in recent history, then that's why. I just want to kind of address some of this, and then maybe this will help you view the lens in which she is talking about me in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because there is one thing that Amberlynn likes to do, and it is twist people's words, like she says that people do to her, manipulate people's words, or have a little bit of revisionist history of how things have happened. So if you don't have Instagram, then you might not even be aware that she's doing this. This is something she used to do all the time, and then she switched over to some other random app that I never even bothered to start looking into, outside of like what people occasionally sent me in screenshots. And now she's moved back to her Instagram, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out her Instagram in a while, at some point in the past year, she rebranded her Instagram account. It used to be Rarity Cat was her Instagram account, and now it's narcissistic.goddess. So I think she thinks she's like in on the joke about like the narcissism or whatever, but that's what she calls herself over there. And honestly, for the past few days, she's been going after, few days even to up to a week, she's been going after a variety of channels that do content about her on her Instagram, which again, she's entitled to do. I'm not sure why she is doing it, to be honest. I don't know how it helps her out. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. She was really focused one day, like, on Young Dumb Honey Bun, just like every single question she answered was about them. And then since then, she's been switching it up a little bit here and there to be about other people. And then today, well, yesterday and today, it seems to be a lot about me, which I honestly, she's been saying some stuff during this span of time about me. And I honestly am not going to give attention to every single thing, because it's just like, one, I would get exhausted real quick, and two, wouldn't be worth my time or energy. Because I think in a lot of cases, people who watch me know what's up, and I don't feel like I have to defend myself to people who watch me, or really anybody, honestly, because if you don't watch me and you believe what Amberlynn is saying, then that, like, probably anything I have to say about it is not going to change your mind. But today, I'm mostly responding because I just find it all very rich, very entertaining, very fascinating that she, like, really thinks she's doing something here. And for what it's worth, I've also tweeted a little bit about this, so some of this might feel a little repetitive because I am going to share my thoughts that I shared on Twitter in this video as well. But yeah, it's really not adding up. So first of all, let's just say it started yesterday. Was that yesterday? It was yesterday, where somebody said, and I'll obviously post all the things up for you, okay? But somebody said, if you could ask Zachary Michael any questions, what would you ask? And her response was, one, okay, well, first of all, she divides it into 2 points, but each point has like 3 different questions in it. So I don't really know why she put a 1 and a 2, because the whole thing is like 6 questions. But she says, 1, why do you watch my videos for every single one of your videos if all I do is annoy you and all you do is complain through the whole video? You complain over literally everything. What is the point in your content? All you do is sit, watch it, and bitch the whole time. 2, did you know that making your channel surrounding one creator, especially using every single one of their videos at full length and using it in a negative way, taking viewers from a creator knowingly is actually against TOS on YouTube? So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer every single one of those questions for her, but I guess really what I want to say in sharing this in particular is that there really is truly no could here. Like, if Amberlynn wanted to ask me these questions, she is welcome to. And in fact, it's funny to me that she's posting all of this on a account that she has me blocked on, which is fine. It's her prerogative to block me, have an opinion on me, whoever, whatever. But I'm blocked. So realistically, technically, I should be able to see this, but obviously people send me it, and also I can go on to Judy's Instagram account or Poe's Instagram account at this point and check it out if I really want to and want to see it. But it's just like, bestie, you can ask. Come on, go on right ahead. You want to know the answer to these questions so much, my DMs are open. I'm not the one that has you blocked. You got me blocked. You know what I'm saying? Or I have a business email, reach out there. Whatever way, carrier pigeon. Actually, I don't have a P.O. box or anything, so she can't do the old snail mail with me. But there are ways to contact me. So if you really want answers to these questions, you're welcome to reach out. Now, unfortunately, it seems like Amberlynn isn't a real, genuine, true, and honest fan of Zachary Michael, because if she was, I think, and she was like watching critically, I think she would know the answer to some of these questions. So, like, for instance, she says that every single one of my videos is using her videos at full length and using it in a negative way. I literally, just as yesterday's video as an example, I cut out like a whole 4 to 5 minute segment of her shopping at Dollar Tree because I had no interesting commentary to provide and nothing to add. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to take this out. I'm not just going to record myself sitting here watching it. I mean, I did record myself doing that, but it was boring. I didn't think that would be interesting to viewers, so I cut it out. And honestly, I do that a lot, especially lately, because she's posted these 30-minute long videos and maybe 20 minutes of it is interesting stuff, If I included the entirety of all of her videos, my videos would be even longer than they currently are or have been in recent history. And I've answered the question about why I watch her videos. I genuinely do find the story to be entertaining. I know she thinks I complain about everything. I would say I do complain sometimes, for sure. I'm not gonna lie about that. But, there are things I enjoy about the story. I enjoy watching her contradict herself. I find it entertaining. I've often said that I find her to be like a reality TV show, except on YouTube. And, when it comes to covering every single video, one, I don't necessarily. There's a lot of videos that I just recap because she posts them on the weekend and I have a life and I got other things to do. But 2, I watch a lot of TV that I also watch people cover on YouTube, and guess what? They cover every single episode. In fact, I watch Big Brother currently, which is maybe something Amberlynn Reed can relate to, and I watch a channel that recaps every single day of the live feeds on their channel and talks about every single thing that happens in the house on their channel on a daily basis. So in that way, it's just, for me, it's like watching a TV show and covering it and talking about it with other people who are watching the same TV show. Does that help? Does that answer your question? What my content is intended for? It's to enjoy a TV show with the people who also watch the same TV show and have a giggle and a laugh about it. Now, as far as breaking terms of service or whatever by YouTube, I'm not convinced that's what I'm doing. But also, if if this is something that Amberlynn Reed is so adamant about, you know, she's welcome to act on that at any time or point, or also talk to me about it. Like I said, I don't think that that's what I'm doing. I will agree that, especially lately, a lot of my content has been dedicated to Amberlynn Reed content because that's the only thing I'm really interested in right now. Not to say that I wouldn't be interested in doing other content, and not to say that I've never done other content on my channel, because I have, but I would agree that a lot of it has been about her lately. I also just, you know, feel like I'm not breaking the terms of service. Did that answer your questions, Amberlynn? Now, like I said, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email me. Now, with that being said, Amberlynn decided to post some more questions about me today, which, again, her prerogative, but I just want to maybe take some time to cover it. And also preface, maybe I should have done this a little earlier in the video, but preface that Amberlynn has a long history of going back and forth on whether or not she does or does not like me, does or does not think that my channel is good or bad, and very specifically in recent history, just in the past few months, she posted a Q&A on Snapchat where she said I was a bully. And then a few weeks later on that like Telenym other app she was using for a while, said that she found my channel to be harmless. Now, I don't know about what kind of bullying you've experienced in your past or in your life, but when I was bullied in middle school, high school, things like that, I would not identify that kind of behavior as harmless. So, you know, not surprised that Amberlynn would contradict herself, but I guess I just want to preface this whole conversation and that, like, she changes her mind about this every other day. And that's not to say that she can't, because I do think sometimes you change your mind with given information. But at this point, she's changed her mind so many times that it's like, what do you want me to believe, bestie? What would you like me to believe? And I have to say, I don't have any receipt on this readily available, or maybe I do. I'll look whenever I'm editing and see if maybe I have something that supports what I'm about to say here. But Amberlynn has consistently, in recent history, said that she doesn't watch my channel, which also, fine, please don't. I go out of my way to not watch or read negative things about me. I feel that even though I don't think that everything I have to say about you is negative, I just genuinely don't like to listen to people talk about me, you know? And I feel like work, mood, do the same if that's what pleases you. But apparently now she is watching my videos, at least enough to quote things that I've said and take them out of context. So, for example, another person, which I have to believe to some extent people are also just like goading her, like just poking the bear, trying to get her to talk about some of these things. And somebody said, what other questions do you have for Zachary Michael? And she said, why are you spreading false information about Ozempic when you know absolutely nothing about it? Saying things like, it's not going to work the day you take it, you have to wait weeks. This is false information. The Ozempic shot works almost immediately, if not a few hours or so. This is just another prime example of why I dislike you. You complain and spread false information. I just want to be clear, if you watch me regularly, you know this, I'm always prefacing that I am not a medical professional, a healthcare professional, and in fact, the very first time I talked about Ozempic on this channel, I clearly stated I don't know shit about this drug. I'm vaguely familiar with Ozempic, but I'm not like an expert. I actually first learned about it when Chantal started taking it like a year and a half ago, or I don't know. At the beginning of the downfall of Chantal's channel, she was taking Ozempic, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. I'm happy to learn from Amberlynn. Y'all know when it comes to her health stuff, I don't have too much to say unless it's like getting frustrated when she blatantly just like ignores the advice of a health professional. But here we are. So let's just be clear. I'm not out here trying to act like an Ozempic professional. In fact, I said, let me learn from Amberlynn Reed, and that's all I can say about that. Now, what I will say is that when I said, give it time, bestie, what I meant was literally give it a chance. Because like many things in the history of Amberlynn Reid's channel, if they don't work immediately for her, she gives up. And I was coming from a place of like, I would love for this to work for you, bestie. I want this to work for you, bestie. And in fact, week 2, when it did start working for her in the way that she thought it was working, I was supportive, okay? So this concept that I am saying that I'm some kind of expert on Ozempic and that I'm trying to say, like, this is how Ozempic should work is not it at all. I was saying, just like, could you please try to give it time? Like, maybe it doesn't work right away. I don't know. What do you mean the first week it didn't work? I feel like this shit is not gonna work overnight. Like, I assume because you have to, like, gradually increase the dosage and stuff like that. Like, granted, it sounds like something else happened in your life. Something else was going on that, like, maybe, I don't know if it was a health-related thing or what it was. You said it's personal, and maybe we will, maybe we won't get to hear from you in the future. I know we're in, like, I know part of this rebrand is just continuing to be so open and honest and vulnerable with us. But you didn't even give that shit time to work. First of all, you didn't even give that shit time to work. You took a shot and you said, well, I'm still hungry. I still have an appetite. You didn't even give it a chance. Like, to say that I'm spreading false information about a drug that I've never used and I've said I don't know anything about is goofy. And I also just have to say, quite honestly, the reason I don't talk a lot about this, and I actually had included this in a part of a video, like an intro to a video a couple days ago, and then I just said, you know what, I'm so tired of talking about this, I won't talk about it anymore. Is that anytime anything health related comes up with Amberlynn Reid on her channel and I'm reacting to it, even if I spend this amount of time talking about it, there are 1,200 different opinions on that health related subject on my comments, I'm sure in her comments, and that's why I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. That's why I don't want to talk about it. That's why I don't want to give my opinion about it. I was specifically talking about losing weight immediately from the drug, and even people in my comments were saying things like, Ozempic should work that fast, Ozempic shouldn't work that fast. If you're taking it for diabetes, it might work that fast, but if you're trying to lose weight, it won't. And I'm just like, literally, there's so many different people with different opinions and different experiences, and I would even be inclined to say that from person to person taking Ozempic, it's gonna work differently. And so in that way, I don't even think I'm disagreeing with Amberlynn. I'm just saying that I hope she would stick it out to make it work or give it a chance to work longer than just like a day or two. And guess what? She did. Hallelujah, I'm happy for her. But then the other thing that she followed this up with on Instagram was that somebody said, Alex said the same thing about Ozempic. You know that, right? Alex, you're referring to Alex as Shook. And she said, there's a difference between saying it with cockiness and acting like you know everything and laughing at me about it, Zach, versus making a statement where it's clear he wasn't sure what he was talking about, Alex. So I think I've already shown you a clip that said that I didn't know what I was talking about, but it just goes to show you that, like, if her favorite reaction channel is saying something, she's gonna go with it. Also, let me just, like, if I have a clip or if I can find the clip of him saying it, I will include it and let you decide if, like, our delivery was all that different.
And I was expecting it to work. I was expecting to lose my appetite. It did not happen. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's on the 0.25 milligrams, which you do that for the
first. Is that like, okay, so she takes like the smaller dose and then they work you way up? Maybe it just takes a little while. Amber's the type to like drop it after a couple days if there's like one negative side effect. But really, she should give it a fair shake.
maybe it was. I literally haven't watched it, but I do have a timestamp, so I will be seeing it when I edit it. How about that? But nevertheless, I repeatedly say over and over again in my videos, to the point that some people find it annoying, that I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, and I was only saying that I would hope that she would give time for Ozempic to work, not that it should work that quickly. You know what I'm saying? She also, and I quite honestly don't entirely know where all of this is coming from, but she also answered a question that said, did Zachary Michael pretend to be your friend at first? And she said, yes-ish. Then he went behind my back and stuck up for someone who was lying about me and my character. It really hurt my feelings. The rest is history, and now he makes money by destroying my character and who I am as a person, just constantly degrading me as if I am not human. And so, let me just first respond. I don't know that I was pretending. I have said many times when I started watching Amberlynn read that I enjoyed her content. I was looking for people on YouTube who were on weight loss journeys, because I was as well. I was intrigued that she was a lesbian, because I love watching other queer people on YouTube and on TV and things like that. And I just found the whole thing to be fascinating. I don't know who she's talking about me sticking up for exactly. Maybe the only thing I could think of in this particular situation is that I stuck up for Rafe, maybe? Because there was the whole situation where Rafe was gonna go get Amberlynn's cat fixed without Amberlynn's permission or something like that. I can't think of who else it would be. But also, even before that happened, I was critical about her for other things, because one of the very first videos, I say this all the time, but one of the first videos I ever made was about her having biphobia, saying she would never date a bisexual woman because the bisexual woman might cheat on her with a man, which, if you know anything about sexuality, that's not how bisexuality works. And also, I am in a relationship with somebody who's pansexual, so I'm not really, I was at the time, I still am, that's Noel, if you're not familiar. And if I had to seriously worry about Noel cheating on somebody who had a different gender than me, goofy movie. So I don't know exactly what she thinks or who she thinks I was sticking up for. Maybe she could share more about that. I really don't know specifically who she might be talking about in this situation. But certainly, I don't think I degrade her. I think I'm critical of some of her choices. I think that, I think it's silly the way that she spends money sometimes. I mean, there's all kinds of things, but I don't know that, I'm hardly even close to being, a mean, bad person towards her. And she seems to be willfully ignoring, all of the very kind things that I do say about her on a somewhat regular basis. Case in point, this was another thing that I found out she posted after I got done filming, where she said that she thought my comments about her donating Dollar Tree products to the homeless was disgusting. And I actually, first of all, said that I thought that her heart was in the right place in that video and that it was good. I was just coming at this from a person who, quite literally, one of my jobs in recent history was to manage the pantry for students on campus who were experiencing either homelessness or food insecurity. And I literally managed and organized a pantry and had to deal with getting products from people or donations from people that people didn't like. And then in college, I was in a service fraternity, Alpha Phi Omega, and there was a semester where I was the person responsible for planning all the service events, and that occasionally also included organizing food drives and things like that, where I worked with shelters and or food banks to get donations for those organizations. And I was giving my perspective of give what you would want to give to people, what you would want somebody to give to you. And if Amberlynn would love to use Dollar Tree products, that's great. I said her heart was in the right place. I was also just saying that if you are really looking to make an impact, that consider getting quality products. Because I also said that Dollar Tree does have a lot of quality products at a good, affordable price. I watch so many Dollar Tree hauls. I love watching Dollar Tree hauls. And because I've watched so many of them, I know that some of the things that you get from Dollar Tree are cheap for a reason, and that there are some things that are there and they're genuinely like a good deal. So again, she is willfully ignoring the very kind things I said about her. I'm glad that she wants to use some of her riches to give back to people in need. I think that's a great cause, and I didn't berate her for that. I was commenting on it as a concept. I think, giving whatever you can give is always appreciated. Honestly, I think what they would have even been better off doing was just giving all of the money that she spent at Dollar Tree and letting the organization she was donating to decide what to do with that money, because that's literally, from my experience, always their preferred method. Obviously, they also do still need like tangible items, and you can work with them to get those things. But yeah, that's just my experience. I don't think she's a bad person for going to Dollar Tree and getting things there to donate. I'm sure that the shelter, if she really did communicate with them in advance, will be happy to get whatever items, okay? It's not like this is, again, her twisting what I was saying when I literally did say I think her heart's in the right place. So I guess I just want to reiterate, I appreciate where her heart is, and just say that, like, if you are wanting to donate to homeless shelters, from my experience in the past of working with them, just, like, make sure to, one, ask them what they really need and focus on that. And also, like I said, just keep in mind that, like, yes, you can probably get a shit ton of things from buying at the Dollar Tree, but if those things aren't things that you would use yourself and you're just getting them because they're cheap, maybe consider buying the things that you would buy for yourself and donating those things, especially if you can afford to do that. The only other thing I really want to comment on is that she did post a question from somebody that said, right, so why do you literally never answer me? I've sent like 10 million questions. And she said, I receive hundreds of questions. I don't see every single question I get. I'm sorry if I don't respond. I hope that doesn't stop you from sending in your questions. Which she probably does get a lot of questions, I'm sure. That's not my concern when I'm sharing this. My concern when I'm sharing this is that she probably gets so many questions that have nothing to do with drama whatsoever. And she actively chooses to bring this stuff onto her Instagram page from behind a blocked account where seemingly I shouldn't be able to respond to. She's not out here running her mouth about me on her YouTube channel. She's not like where she has the biggest audience. She's doing it from behind a blocked Instagram account. Okay, besties? So she's all big bad. She thinks she's this big bad boss bitch. I remember even like last week there were people hyping her up saying like, yes, I love that you're going after these reaction channels that are so rude and nasty to you. But she's doing it from behind a platform that she probably honestly has most of those people blocked on, So, like, yes, big bad boss bitch Amberlynn Reed letting us have it. You could actively spend your time getting upset and spreading your own misinformation about me, or you could answer some of these other questions that other people are asking you that they want to know about that don't pertain to me. Oh Lordy, it's Shorty, Alex is shook, Young Dumb Honey Bun, Callie, whoever it might be that you're out here answering questions about on any given day, So anyways, I hope Amberlynn can find some peace after all of this. I hope she is well, and I hope that Ozempic keeps working for her. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Subscribe if you want, hit the bell button if you want, leave a comment, hit like, click share if you want, and have a great day. Bye!